I just wanted to point out that it's Bob Saget, by the way. That I'm not narrating How I Met Your Mother. It just sounds like that, doesn't it? I just wanted to say that this is an incredibly difficult time. Like you don't know it, right? You're either watching the news all day and filling yourself with anger and pain, and or you're distracting yourself and zooming through what internet you can, or watching a movie or binging or just sitting outside or talking with friends. I just hope you're all still practicing some safe distancing, because this is literally clouded COVID-19, because it's a much bigger issue, as big as COVID-19 is, which is the death of people and incredible sickness, which I hope none of you have to go through, and those that have been affected. Thoughts and prayers. This sounds like such crap, but it's genuine. My heart is with you. Nothing sounds genuine. Everything sounds like a Hallmark card. And there goes your cynicism, and that's why the 20-year-olds are out there going, nothing's going to change. But all people are people, and some people have a job to do that's not one they want to do. And some people have a job to do that they shouldn't be doing. And so as we go into a time where we're all wishing and praying for justice, I believe that justice will have to be served, because voices need to be heard. And I'm just sending you a lot of love. So this episode that's about to start was recorded just before the loss of George Floyd, the incredibly painful and unjustified loss. And it's me calling people to see how they're doing in general, which I love to do. And if you look up on the thing on your podcast thing there, it tells you a number to call, and you can leave your name and number and what question you have. And on Instagram stories or on Twitter, I'll be posting when I'm calling people, which I'd love to do. And this is me reaching out to people to see how they're doing. So it was mostly quarantine related, because that's where we were at just a little while ago, like in a blink of an eye ago, until this heinous act happened, and the world kind of blew up. So I hope there's no more of the 10 plagues that hit us, but we're facing a problem that humanity's had from the beginning. And I don't know if humanity is capable of ever getting it right, but we can do what we can to be positive. So I hope you enjoy these wonderful people I get to talk to. And I'm sending you all my love. This would be Excel. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, it's Bob Saget. Is this Excel? Is that your correct name?
Yes. Oh, no. Are you kidding me right now? No, is this really you?
Yeah, you called and left a message, and I'm doing my... Are you okay? Don't hyperventilate. Don't do that. Breathe deep.
You have no idea how much I've been a fan since ASV and Full House. I know you hear this all the time, but I grew up with that, and your show taught me a lot of values.
That's really sweet. Thank you.
Oh, my God. That's my husband. Give me 1 second.
Yo, love your work.
Thank you. What's your name, sir?
Grant.
Grant, Excel's like really excited.
Yeah, she's very excited.
How long have you guys been together?
We've been together 10 plus years now. So
since
2007, actually.
Wow. And what city are you in now?
We live in Las Vegas.
How are you holding up? Are there other people in the home? Do you have kids? Do you have other family there?
Well, no, not exactly. She can explain.
We don't have any family here in Las Vegas. We just moved because LA is really expensive.
Yeah.
I have my family in Panorama City, California. My mom just recently came back from Mexico, but she was stuck there since March 12th, and she just got back because of this coronavirus.
Right.
She just got back like a week ago. And this quarantine, to be quite honest, Mr. Saget, I'm a little nervous talking to you because I never expected this to happen at all.
Well, you called, and you can call me Bob. Don't call me Mr. Saget. I felt it's like a collection agent or something. Is your mom is your mom doing okay? XL, is her mom?
Yes, she's doing okay. I told her as I'm here, I paid for her trip back. I'm not working, but I told my mom, hey, it doesn't matter. I need you home. My brothers and sisters need you home. So she's doing okay. I told her to self-quarantine for 14 days because of this pandemic.
Yeah.
She's a diabetic as much as I am. So we're very prone to it. The problem, what sucks here in Las Vegas, everything's it's dead. Like you will never see Las Vegas shut down. Yeah, you will never see it. And like I will post up pictures later, but it's just taking a toll on me and here at home not being with my family, and it sucks.
Yeah, it's impossible. I'm so sorry.
No, yeah.
And so many people are going through it. It's just what's weird is then you see so many people are going through it. It doesn't make you feel better, but it's like, okay, I'm not alone, and you're gonna get through it. I'm telling you. I'm talking like Danny Tanner right now, but you really are gonna get through it, and
I appreciate the words, and you have no idea how much I'm crying right now because I never thought that a person that I saw on my other side of the TV being Mr. Tanner and giving away these values that have grown with me, you have no idea. I would say you have no idea how much you have impacted not only me, but my brothers and sisters and everybody I know who grew up in the 90s. Like, I've seen your comedy specials, man. You are as real as it can be, and I appreciate you for that. And you know what's funny? If I can be 100% with you, yeah. I'm high right now.
Oh, that's I believe me. Most of the people I've been calling are.
Yeah, and what's really messed up about it, I think this is a dream until I pinch myself. I got Bob Saget on the phone with me.
Well, you're getting me you're getting me all teary eyed. I don't know what to tell you. Are you able to get your insulin, or is that what you take? Are you able to get all your meds and stuff?
So thankfully, with the help of MD Live, I was able to get some medication for 30 days. But my problem is, since my employer, and I'll tell you who it is, it's GameStop. If I don't work, my medical insurance doesn't get paid. So I'm literally having one bottle, and I'm stretching it for as long as I can. Thanks to the will of God that I can still produce my own insulin, and I watch what I eat. Yes, I do have cheat days, not like every motherfucker does anyways. But like.
And what about pot? Does that help a diabetic, or is it?
Oh my God, yes, it does. A lot of people. It's not the end all be all. It helps sustain your sugars up until you can get your medication, and so it can help you. Say, for example, if I didn't take my pill like for 2 days. I can smoke weed during that time and I'll be 100% okay up until I feel the symptoms. I'm like, nope, I need my sugar pill again. So it's helping me balance my medication so I can stretch it. I used to take insulin, but now I'm under glycopide and metformin, which pills last a little longer than insulin because since insulin is a what I call a pseudo protein, meaning that it's man-made and not not humanly made. Oh my God, I'm going off on a tangent. I'm sorry.
No, that's all I ever do. And you're high. I mean, so that's, you've got a doctor's note. You're okay. The question I have is, you had a question for me because you left a message. Yes. So you had a question or something you wanted to talk about and not to diminish your other convo. Go ahead. Hit me.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with video games at all, but is there anything that you are doing to kind of keep yourself not crazy? Because I have video games right now. I'm playing this game called Persona 5 Royal, and it's really just keeping me sane. Is there anything that you're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fortunately, and I think you feel the same good fortune that you you're together. I mean, you're not alone there. That's, you know, you got
Mhm.
you're with someone. My wife is, you know, we binge watch shows. You know, I mean, I had to watch Tiger King. I had to watch things I would
Oh
never.
my
Right, and it's like, oh my God, please save the animals from these monsters. And then I'm watching, Love Is Blind. I would never watch that. And I'm going, oh God, I'm
No,
okay.
I would never watch that either, but that Tiger King show got me like,
No,
what?
those are the pandemic shows that Netflix gave us.
I'm like, why are we selling tiger cubs? They should be out in the wild. Like, what is with people? Okay. As cool as a tiger it is to see and take a picture with it, this is not the way. There's
No.
safaris for that.
And that's why it's a brilliant show, because it's so well made and it's holding a mirror up to everybody. And when you find out that more animals are in captivity than are free in this world, we're like, what the hell are we doing to the world? What have we done?
Yeah.
And I think the thing about this insanity that we're all going through, and this fear and this stir crazy, and how do people pay their bills, and how do you keep your insurance, and everybody's going through it. Everybody, I mean, is going through it, except some people that aren't. And it's also nice to see some of the incredibly wealthy people. You're like, wait a minute, that guy wrote a check for $100 billion. Oh,
yes. I was very surprised.
What do you mean? There's nice, rich people, and
there's actually people who give a damn.
Yeah, and the answer is yes. Yes, there are, and then there's others that are just want to take everything and just drain the earth of everything and kill everything and could care less. But most people, I believe most people are on the side of good. I really do. So to answer your question, I've been really busy. I've been doing this show, Bob Saget's Here For You, and we started off on 420, which is a magical day for you because you're high. And
what up, 420?
She is high. And the first 2 weeks we did 3 episodes each week, and now I'm on a Monday, Thursday schedule. So I've been working hard on that. I'm also developing a TV show and talking to networks on Zoom with conferences. I'm also working on I'm staying busy. You know, I'm working on a movie to direct it's top secret right now until we get a green light. But we're just fleshing out the story right now, and it's with somebody that a lot of people love. So I won't say anything. So I'm busy. No, I'm a busy dude, and then I'm gonna relax with my wife, and we're gonna watch our show. We're watching this thing. What's it called? It's with Reese Witherspoon and with oh my God, she's in like 9 series. But this is it's about fires, about putting out fire. Oh darn, I'm gonna have to Google. I hate Googling while I'm on the phone.
Can I say something, Mr. Saget?
Please,
I'm sorry.
please.
I really want to say something. Like, you as an actor, along with, you know, Mr. Dave Coulier, John Stamos, and everybody from in there, got my motivation to do cosplay. I don't know if you ever seen my Twitter. It's FGC Fair Lady. If you ever get a chance to see it,
I will be aware now.
You guys taught me that it's okay to be myself. You guys, it's okay to dress up and have fun. Obviously, you know, it's been going for me throughout most of my life, and I've always wanted to be an actress, but at one point I just thought I'm not good enough. But now hearing you and you're working on all these things has really gotten in my head and be like, maybe you shouldn't give up. Because I got swindled in Los Angeles a couple of years ago, $2,500 promising me a role or and something, and everybody goes through that. I didn't make a big deal of it. I'm like, look, it's Hollywood. Not everyone's going to like you. Not everyone's going to appreciate your uniqueness. You got to make it yourself. And me hearing you do all these things is just putting a fire inside me that
that's very sweet. And I must tell you, I've been rejected my whole career, and you know, and I never stop. It was Rodney Dangerfield was a friend of mine, and he just said, "Go like a tank."
God bless his soul. God bless his soul.
Yeah, and he just said,
funny. I grew up with you guys, like Rodney Dangerfield. I'm so nervous. I can't remember.
Oh, don't be.
Amazing. You're talking to me.
But I wanted to tell you about this show that I'm binging. It's Little Fires Everywhere, and it's Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington.
Oh yes, I've heard of that one.
It is.
What's her name? Miss Washington's in it.
Kerry Washington and Reese, and
Yes.
it's just insanely good. So I recommend it incredibly highly, and I'm trying to find the network because I'm so stupid. Oh, Hulu. It's on Hulu. So
It's on Hulu. Yeah, we have Hulu. That's why I heard of it because I watch a lot of anime on Hulu, and it always comes up.
That's a suggestion. It's a good time to binge on a quality show, and that's a really good show. And my wife and I have been, watching that, and we were watching The Crown just to get some distinguished British information. Just I don't know.
Some British there. Some British show took me there.
I had to go there because I was watching so much of the Tiger King. I needed to cleanse my palate because
you need a little cleanse of a palate.
After a lot of white trash, I got to go to a little bit of upper echelon Downton Abbey types, and then you see they got problems. So life is just bizarre, and you're just delightful. And so I'm keeping busy. I'm a workaholic, and when I'm able to, I'll be out on the road again, and I'll come back to Vegas. And if you're there,
oh my God, I'm the first one to buy tickets.
Well, what you've got to do, Excel, what you have to do, and of course I'll never forget the name Excel. You and your husband have to come there and then just say, I was on, Bob Saget's Here for You, his podcast, and then come backstage, and by that time it'll be safe for us to be within social distancing, and we could take a damn selfie. So that'll be great.
I would love to give you a hug more than anything because, like I mentioned before, your show in the 90s has brought me my morals along with my family. It motivated me a lot. And I know you hear this a lot, but you're going to hear from a person who's a nobody.
No, you're not. No, this is what I'm here to tell you. You're not a nobody. I'm just telling you, you're not a nobody. Some people that people think are somebodies are just assholes. And a good person's a good person. So you're not a nobody at all. That's just
but I really just want to give you a hug.
Well, the day will come because we will be able to be out in the world again. Okay, so you guys,
time and a place, but
yeah, there will be a time and a place, and it'll be safe again. It will be, and we'll all have a vaccination, and it'll be available, and we'll catch up, and then some other shoe will drop in 5 years, and we'll find out, holy crap, what the hell's that? And then we'll have to, I don't know, wear snorkel equipment. I don't know what we'll be doing. So
or maybe smoke a few blunts afterwards and take a couple of edibles and just be all crazy and loony.
I think you could use a snorkel as a bong, actually, if you think about it.
Yes, you can, actually. Well, look, Mr. Saget, I don't want to cut you off, but I know you got a lot of people to get back into.
Yeah, I'm going to give some calls, and I'm going to take a little break, and I can't thank you enough. You're just delightful.
No, I can't thank you enough. I never thought that the person we looked up to is calling us. I literally thought it was a joke. I told my husband, drive to Del Taco real quick, and we're like, hey, Bob Saget put a number on it. I'm going to give it a shot. And the next thing you know, this happened. And I'm just like, wow, life is about giving shots. And if they miss, you move on. That's the one thing I learned today.
That's right. And don't think you can't do what you need to do. You can get things done. It'll all happen. And in the meantime, don't feel bad you're playing a video game. And just binge some shows. Don't feel bad about that. Sometimes it's a way of the universe saying, hey, everybody take a break. And then that not for the people that are saving everybody's life. They're the real heroes that are out there risking their own lives and will keep us safe. And thank goodness you guys are safe where you are right now. So
thank you, Mr. Saget, for being very kind and reaching out to folks who are in this time of need.
Thank you for inspiring us and everyone else.
Yeah.
Oh. You guys are going to make me cry. Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. Don't do it.
I'm trying not to make you cry, but I'm just letting you know, man, you really inspired us 90s kids to be better selves. And,
I had no idea. I didn't even know. All I did was play the character as best I could. And then at times I went, wait a minute, I'm not being the funny one. I'm not this, not that. And then the same producers we had. We just lost Tom Miller, who was one of the producers, exec producers.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
And he's a wonderful man. And Bob Boyette, who I love, who not only produced Full House, but put me on Broadway, and Jeff Franklin, who put that show together. They created this show. And they created a character who was a hugger. And I said, let me be more of a hugger and let me clean more. And next thing I knew, I'm the straight guy on the show. And then I look at Richie Cunningham from Happy Days, and that was the mold.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, hey, there's something good about being Richie Cunningham, about being the noble, good person who, and like right now, I got 3 daughters. I didn't know I was a good dad until I took a look at them and how they tried.
You were my dad back in those days when my father was out fighting wars. You were my dad. As a fan, man, you were there. And having you on the phone is amazing.
I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
You're welcome. And your dad, is he with us?
No, he's not. He died of cancer and a heart attack back in 2006.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. You know, that's why I said.
Yeah, you just
watching those reruns and watching those when they came out every week, you were there. Like, you were there. And as much as you may think it's a character to us, to at least us, it meant like somebody was there. Somebody understood our struggle as a kid. In the 90s,
that was the creators of the show, and they had a combination of people that all fell in love with each other, and we still are today. So I thank you so much.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna tag you on Twitter saying how happy I was that you actually talked to me. I'm gonna blow it up and this guy is 100. This guy is real. I can't wait for you to come to Vegas and I laugh my ass off. But you know what I tell my husband? We're like, at the end of the day, we're all gonna be looking back on this as we survived the first pandemic. Like, motherfucker, should have just stayed home.
Right. Exactly. I wouldn't have been able to call you if you hadn't have been home.
I know.
Well, you be well. You have a good night, and I'll be seeing you in a healthier time. And just take care of yourselves.
Thank you, Mr. Saget. Please be safe.
Thank
Stay
you.
Healthy.
I will. You too. Thanks so much. Have a good night, Excel. Bye,
you too. You too, bye.
Bye, guys. Oh man, we will be right back. Hey, we are back. We are back. And I am emotionally invested. And wow, she really touched my heart. And she was stoned. And there you go. It's not, by the way, saying you guys should go out and all be smoking. But if you like it and it's not hurting anybody and you're not having adverse reactions and it calms you, I'm all for that. And it's not meant for everybody. Like me, no, I can't. I'm going to try Grant.
Hello?
Hey, is this Grant?
Who is this?
Bob Saget. You called, and here I am.
Hey, Bob, what's up?
Not much, man. How are you doing? How you holding on?
Hanging here with my wife, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and how are you guys getting along? Because my wife and I are getting along good today. How's it going with you guys?
Well, she's essential, and I'm staying at home right now because I've been furloughed. So, she gets to get away from me every once in a while.
Do you have room enough to be able to be separate?
Yeah, we were actually separate a moment ago, but she's right here, right with me right now.
Hello.
Hello. And Grant, what's your wife's name?
Brittany.
Brittany, pleasure. Thank you for calling. What city are you in?
We are in Cape Coral, Florida.
Are you guys pretty safe and taking care of each other?
Oh, you know it. Yeah, it's weird. Like, as you go and look at the news, you wake up and you go, oh, okay, I'm scared to get online and just see what's happened between point A and point B. And
yeah.
It's usually not good.
No, I know. I just watch shows with my wife, and we have our programs, and gone through things I would have never binge watched in a zillion years, and now it kind of helps me through. But we do want to check in with the news. So we watch the news, and then I like to flip around all the news channels. So I try to get a complete picture of all sides, no matter what, just so I can form my own opinion. But I just need to know facts. We need to know, and people are working really hard. There's so many people that are sacrificing themselves during this to take care of people, and they're heroes right now, just like in any other crisis. We've got them out there.
That's actually my wife. She's an essential worker right now.
So Brittany leaves the house and she does the whole. Does she wear a hazmat suit, or did she get in there and do the whole thing?
I work for a hospice, so I'm actually a social worker.
Right.
So my patients are in long-term care facilities and hospice-run facilities. No hazmat suit. I have my own mask that I bought for myself to wear.
Wow. Because they didn't have the supplies?
No. They prioritized the nurses and the CNAs, and that was all they had. So the social workers, the chaplains, the other workers kind of got, they made us some cloth ones, but I felt better getting some real heavy duty stuff.
Brittany, you're a blessed person. I've lost a lot of people, and hospice has always been such an amazing help. It really has, with both my parents, with one of my sisters, and it's just, it helps you understand, because so many people are afraid of death, and we're in a time right now where it's at unbelievable levels, and what you're doing is I just can't thank you enough. I mean,
Thank you.
You're truly you're a hero. I mean, people are so scared of it, and if the beautiful thing about true hospice is it gets people to not. I think that's why I'm not afraid of death, and I think it's why I will never die, because I have to live forever. I have 3 daughters and a beautiful wife. So, but it's just, I don't know. It's just, it eases your way out when it's hopeless and it's not going to happen, especially with the elderly. And we all go through it. I mean, that's what people forget. It doesn't help people to hear you're not alone. People are suffering. Everybody's, I know people that have the pandemic and See how good thing I'm not a doctor. I know people that have the virus, and it doesn't really soothe people. But what you're doing, what's your approach? How do you look at your work? What is the main theme?
I try to keep people comfortable. Right now, I try to keep families connected with their loved ones because they can't go in the long-term care facilities right now.
Yeah.
All of the ones in this area have where we can only allow in about 1 or 2 family members, and only if someone is imminent. And even then, there are some restrictions. If no one can travel to see them, it has to be someone who's already been here locally, didn't fly here, didn't drive here from another state. So a lot of what I've been doing is just keeping loved ones in touch. We're trying to learn how to do video technology so we can film, send video messages or do like a FaceTime type program with patients.
Right.
But basically it's keeping them happy, keeping them comfortable. A lot of our patients don't understand what's going on, and they don't know what happens to their kids or their grandkids because they don't understand or they can't remember the news.
Yeah.
So it's comfort, happiness, and sometimes cheaply keeping them entertained right now because they're in their rooms. They can't go to the dining hall. They can't do group activities anymore. So kind of keeping them entertained.
So they watch a lot of TV in their rooms? Is that what they're doing?
Some do. We try to keep it light. TV land, Westerns, older movies, not a lot of the news.
Yeah.
A lot of, it's hard when people have dementia for them to watch the news or understand. So we try to keep it lighthearted and positive.
That's the key. And I guess comedies once in a while if you find one on there, right?
Right. Yeah. Some facilities have better TV options than others.
Right.
Some of them have DVD players and movies and TV series and things like that.
I had two grandmothers that we lost, and one of them really enjoyed watching adult stuff. She would watch Lifetime movies, but only if there was a lot of sex in them. She would try to find anything that had that. Do you find that circumstance of some people being a little bit more frisky?
We did have a patient who had a book on tape, or I think probably a book on CD, and the only way you could keep her calm, it was 50 Shades of Grey. You put that on, and she would be happy and complacent, and it was 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh my God! I actually was on The View once, and I interviewed E.L. James, who wrote it, and I did say something that's a PG-13. May I share it with you? It's a little. I said it on The View, so it's. I told her I couldn't put your book down because it was stuck to my hand. That's what I said to her. So that's my other sense of humor that I get to share. But
did you keep it underneath your mattress?
Oh,
like in middle school.
Oh my God! When I was 14, I was smuggling in the guy magazines, and my parents would see me rush into the house, and I bought them, but I was only 14, and I was a tall 14, and obviously had a lot of pimples, so they knew what was up. And my parents just would see me like run into the house. Where are you going? I'm just going to my room. And I don't know. I think when my mom would clean my room, she just there's no way for a 13-year-old boy to know how to hide stuff. It wasn't good. It did not end well. But also,
those ladies are now all in their 70s now, so just think about that.
That's yeah. It's my God. I wish I could give my stash to some of the people where Brittany works. So Grant, you gave a call and you had a question or a subject you wanted to talk about, which I'm happy to do.
Yeah, it was just kind of I was wondering. I watched your stand-up thing on AXS TV, the marathon that was going on.
Yeah.
Or the fundraising event.
It was really sit down, but it was for a really good cause. It was. I'm really happy that we did that. It helped a lot of comedians that are struggling because it's like, well, hey Bob, people are really suffering. A lot of comedians, they're going, why are you doing this? Because it's and it's comedygivesback.com, and they raised about $350,000. I hear closer to 400, and that money was comedians taking grants because COVID-19 affected them directly. They were either sick or they just had no medical. And so this money is getting divvied out through grants. So it's all done properly. And it was very nice that so many comedians came and did it. It was weird. I mean, because we're in a world that's like, nobody knew. The night before they decided to do it on Zoom and they had another engine going. And so did you enjoy watching it or was it like a free for all?
Yeah, I enjoyed watching it. It was kind of fun watching things not go right, but that was kind of the charm of it.
Yeah.
And, like getting to the point of like how weird this world is. It's like I'm sitting here talking to you on the phone, which is like just, it's an unusual thing.
Well, it's a pleasure for me too, because I chose to do this podcast long before the pandemic really hit. And I didn't realize, and the title is Bob Saget's Here For You. So it's like, I didn't realize I'd want even more of a connection. And 3 years ago, when everybody started getting crazy and people were angry and so much hatred and anger, I just said, I got to go do stand up. And I'm not going out to do cursing and shock jokes. I'm out to do what I think is funny. And it's kind of, I guess I'm not as blue as I was, and I have a new hour ready to go, but I can't do it. I can't perform anywhere. None of us can, and who cares? Boo hoo, poor Bob. But I'm able to do this, and this makes me feel good. Did you have a specific thing about that? It wasn't really stand up. I mean, most of us, I was sitting at my desk.
Yeah. Well, the question I had for you was, you were talking with Howie, and on how Howie was saying that, you guys knew each other for a long time, like way back when.
Yeah, when we were 22, 23 years old.
So knowing how Howie is very stringent with don't touch him, everything has to be kept clean, was that an original characteristic for Danny Tanner, or did you borrow from Howie and ask him kind of hey, so how do you do these kind of things?
Well, it's interesting. Actually, what I took it from was The Odd Couple, which was Felix and Oscar, and some listeners might not know, but it was a play by Neil Simon. It was a great play, and it was a movie with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau, which is worth a Google. And the TV show was Tony Randall and Jack Klugman. So I've just dated myself, which I did a lot when I was single. But hey, but
still do that even when we're married.
Tell me, let's not talk about that. Your wife's right there, and my wife can hear me from here. I've closed the double doors, but doesn't mean she doesn't know. But the truth of it is, Felix Unger, the character in this brilliant play television series done by Gary Marshall and Ed Milkus, all these amazing people that did this show. Tony Randall was a guy. Felix Unger was the most anal retentive guy in the world. He would have allergies. He'd have to honk to clear his ears. He would clean all the time. Don't touch that. You're making it dirty. It was the basis of it. It was a clean ripoff, the character. And when I first read the script, it was intended for another actor. And then I got fired from a show on CBS, a morning show, because that's what you do with a guy like me. You fire me. And I was too hot for morning TV, they said. And then I said, hey, let me take this character and make him hug more, because I'm a hugger anyway. And let me take this character and make him even more crazy, and he has to clean all the time. And I went, oh, no, what have I done to myself? I'm just I'm crazy. What have I done? And people are going to make fun of me forever. And they did. People really just made fun of me. And now they're going, oh, you were my dad growing up, And so it's real weird. Like, the press hated it. They didn't like the show, and then we became a big success on Friday nights when they moved us from Tuesday nights. And ABC was very kind to us back then. They ran us Tuesdays and Fridays. And then they don't do that now. And now you can't do anything. I mean, they're going to run out of product at one point, I think, unless they rerun old famous wonderful things. But I didn't intend it. Howie always was worried about germs, and he's completely shaved. And I always ask him everywhere, and I think the answer is yes. And I think I've been saying he's a prophet. I think he was the one that knew first. So I would say Danny Tanner came out of Felix Unger, but Howie Mandel is just a person who has the neurosis that any comedian would have. He's also Canadian and Jewish, which triples down on neurosis. And he's just a lovely, lovely guy, and a guest on this podcast as well, and a friend for a very long time. So I think, the fist bump, one special I talked about it. What if you're fist bumping someone and the poo is on your knuckles, and what have you accomplished? So the fist bump didn't mean anything, and the chest bump, now, what if you got a droplet on your chest? We cannot touch each other. We have to just stay away. And if anybody coughs, I would imagine, Brittany, where you work, if someone coughs, you kind of, I would say, move away at that moment. Wouldn't you? Is that kind of what you do?
A little bit. We actually, at this point, luckily, we've had no positive cases with my work. We had several people tested who came up negative, who all developed coughs. And yes, when you work in closed quarters and you're all in a room together, it is very intimidating.
Yeah. And I was driving, my wife and I, Kelly, we just went, you know what? We've been in the house. Let's just go for a ride. And we hadn't been leaving at all. And we went up the coast, which is very beautiful, and the air has been clearer than ever, which once this pandemic is under control, it's probably going to be double pollution because everything will come firing back up. And, you know, what we should be doing at that moment is starting to build more, you know, environmentally safe means of everything. But in any case, we were driving up the gorgeous California coast, and people were driving like maniacs. I didn't know there so many were out. They were tailgating.
Oh, yeah.
People had their windows open. They were there. I thought they were going to spit on a loogie on my window. So what were you going to say? Sorry.
Oh, no, I'm from California initially, so I know PCH very well. But over here in Florida, people are just mowing down the streets with nobody on it, and it's kind of scary, especially if you're going for like a walk at night just to get your head clear a little bit. You know, people are not really paying attention. It's kind of a free-for-all on the road right now.
No, and Florida and California are known to have lunatics, and New York. The way people drive, it's like the Autobahn in Germany. I mean, there's no speed limit in their mind. They you know, and there's some dangerous people out there, as we all know. But it's just, I just hate road rage, and I've had it. And you can't do that because then I thought, as we're driving the other day, I went, you know, what if we got in an accident? We can't go to a hospital. We have to go to the, you know, the Mercy, the ship that takes care of people that don't have the virus. So it's really, really strange. And it's very, very sad that people, especially during times like this, don't just take it easy and not be so aggressive. And I don't know, maybe they're on drugs to help them get through this. And they're on stuff that hypes them all up. I don't know, but they're not sharing. I'll tell you that. They're very, very, very stingy. I really am glad I got to talk to you guys. Sorry, I was a little late in calling. I've just been a busy little guy here. And I just wish you guys a lot of health, and this will pass. This too shall pass. So,
oh yeah,
I can't thank you guys enough. Thanks for talking with me. And
well, we'll see you next time you're out here, and we love you. Thank you for calling.
Love back. And Brittany, thank you for what you're doing. You're doing real special work, and it's so appreciated. And Grant, you're doing real special work too. So just take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And I'll be seeing you.
We'll see you soon, Bob.
Be well. Bye-bye.
You too.
And we will take one more break and then come right back with one more call. Hey, we're back. And that was a nice break. I really enjoyed it. We're calling Sophie. That's who we're calling. We're calling Sophie right now. Hello, Sophie. It's Bob Saget calling. How are you?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm okay. Am I calling too late? I'm running late today.
No, I didn't think you would actually call. Oh, my goodness.
There you go. People think it's a joke, and it's like, is this really Bob Saget? And again, no, I just disguise my voice and talk like him. And yeah, I had surgery to look just like him. That's my, but you heard my voice, so you knew it was me when you left the message, right?
Yes.
And that number is up in the thing. When people look at the podcast, they can just call that number, and then I Twitter and Instagram that people can call it. And you went and did it. So how are you doing? Where are you in the world right now?
I am from Florence, Alabama.
Wow.
It is up in the top left corner.
Oh, there, I know where it is now. I feel so Carmen Santiago. And how are you holding up?
I work for DHR, which is our child services. So I'm still working with like juvenile probation kids and stuff like that, but I'm staying home doing all that.
How do you work with them doing that? Do you do it are you working directly with these kids?
Well, we do Zoom meetings, like the app Zoom.
That's absolutely. I've been living on it, and that's so amazing that you're doing that. I mean, because what are the ages of the kids?
Anywhere from about 12, which is the ones that haven't been to juvie, they've just been put on probation, and then all the way up to 18 when they age out. And then I also work with DHR, like placing foster kids in homes and stuff like that.
Oh my God, you're doing God's work. That's like you're doing the best thing that can be done. You're oh man, it's
I definitely love it.
and does it ever get scary? Are you ever concerned with where they're at? Because so many people are so troubled these days, especially our youth.
Yeah, we've had some pretty scary circumstances come up. Some relatives who aren't the nicest, but we're very careful with sending when we go to the homes. Like before the quarantine, we were sending groups of people and making sure everything was really safe. But now everything's online, so there's no risk at all right now.
Right. So you're and are you with somebody? Are you alone in your quarantine?
I have my roommate and then my boyfriend.
Oh, so that you're kind of living three's company right now?
Yeah, he doesn't stay a lot. He works next door though, and he works for the automotive company, and so they're still essential. And so he comes over and cooks dinner and stuff. And today we actually made Oreo balls, so he's still here.
Oreo balls. That just sounds like a setup for a joke for my kind of comedy, but I'm not going to go there. But he is he safe going and doing that and then come to you guys? Is there anything unsafe about that, or is he like being careful and masks and gloves and all
Oh,
that?
being super careful.
So
Yeah, and he works in like the office part of the automotive company, so he's not dealing with people
and are they
like daily.
there's other people in the office part, so they practicing social distancing and all that?
Yes, they're cut down to just the essential people, and it's just a few.
Isn't this bizarre that all these terms 2 months ago we never ever thought we'd be saying, and now it's all part of our vernacular? It's so weird.
Yes,
It's like the
yes,
world.
it's definitely weird.
Yeah, the world just
Yeah,
changed
not
on a
being able to
dime.
leave home and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
What'd you say?
Well, I just went. The world changed on a dime, and you can't go. I know people who have very sick people close to them, and if any, and one of them's very elderly, and if she passes away, they can't go to the funeral. They can't get on a plane. They can't. They can't do what
Yeah,
they need to do. It's just. It's a time that we need to just. I don't know. Somehow find the silver lining and realize that it's going to be okay. Somehow. And
yeah. We actually had a great aunt who passed away, and only her kids were allowed. They had 4 people there, so they were the only ones allowed at the funeral, and they like streamed it live so everybody could watch, but we weren't allowed even there.
yeah, I have someone close to me that might be happening. And you just hope for good that whoever's filming it at the funeral has good video quality, because and they need a strong
Yeah,
signal at the cemetery. I don't know why I'm
yeah.
laughing.
Well,
You
I
can't
really
laugh
hope
at
that the
death. I mean,
person.
go ahead. Sorry. It's a good thing. Shut me
Yeah.
up.
Oh no. I just really hope the person that's close to you doesn't pass away because it's rough not being able to be there with family. We're just having to kind of call and not being able to be close to anybody right now. It's rough.
It's impossible. I have 2 daughters in New York, and all I want to do is hug them. All I want to do is get on a plane and be with them. All I want to do is have them here in my house, and it's just it's not the time. But when it is going to be the time, and it will be, we will clear this. There's going to be a lot of tearful celebrations and tearful mourning, and we're going to get through it. I mean, I'm sure you believe that as well, because we have no choice, right?
Yeah, I know we're gonna get through it. I just really hope it's soon because I miss my family. My sister and her husband just got a long-term foster kid placement, and we haven't even been able to meet him yet. Like we've just been doing Zoom calls with the whole family. We've got one sister in Cookeville, Tennessee. We've got another sister in Nashville, one in Tuscaloosa, and then I'm in Florence, and my parents are up the road in Green Hill. But we're all so like staying so separate that we're having to just see each other over Zoom.
Everything's the Brady Bunch. Everything looks like Hollywood Squares or Nashville Squares. Everything looks
Yeah, it
we're in
does.
cubicles, but we look at each other, and it's nice to see each other, and it makes us feel like, wow, this is what the future feels like. We don't want it to be like this,
Yeah.
you know. We want to get through this.
Oh yeah.
We don't want to. I'll have mom to block, please. We don't want to be saying that like we're doing on a game show.
Yeah.
But it's weird too
I
because go ahead, please.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm missing my grandparents so much right now because like they're here, but we just can't risk going near anybody. So like we haven't gotten to see. My sister has some kids. My other sister just got a foster care placement. My aunt, my grandparents, like we're not able to see anybody, and I hate it.
I know, but hold on, because I mean, you do know that your boyfriend's leaving. He comes home, and it's probably completely safe, and he's being very careful. But that opens up, oh, what if, what if, what if? I mean, I get an order of water at the door, and I go, oh, got to leave it out in the sun for a while so it's not on the cardboard. And can you get it? And then we heard about an Amazon guy that spit on a box, and then it's like, what?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah,
What,
see, ours isn't as bad. We've only got about 3 cases around our county, but we're surrounded by like Tuscaloosa that's got a ton in Birmingham. So we're very much like we're under the protection order and the stay at home and everything, but we're not in the middle of everything, but we're trying to also stay clean so that we don't become like in the middle of everything.
Right. Or if someone from there comes to your place near where you are, that's what's weird, is that people can travel from somewhere if they want to get out of where they are to go somewhere else. But what do you do to what question did you want to ask me? Because you had called with a question or a subject, and I went off, just wanted to see how you're doing.
Yeah. Well, I am a huge fan of Full House because my house, we had 12 people in my house growing up. So, like, we had a full house. And so a lot of the stuff that happened to y'all, we would watch and be like, oh, my goodness, yes, that's us. And then Fuller House, I loved watching the remake and getting to see everybody all grown up. Wow. So I was just wondering, like, I follow Candace Cameron Bure a lot and, like, watch her kind of behind the scenes. But I was just, like, wondering what it's like to be filming back then and, like, with everybody being as close as y'all are. I just wanted to know all about that.
Well, we and it's well known that there's a deep love we all have for each other. And Candace I met when she was 10 and Jody was 5. And, you know, we put out this video, which was full quarantine, which trended not long ago. And it was cut together by and made by Candace's daughter, Natasha. So she was our producer. And that's how close we are. I'm like, can you change this shot? And Candace goes, no, my daughter's done. She's done editing. And it's like, okay, sorry, DJ. And Stamos and I, he's been a guest on here on this show. And we're all very, very close. We had a text trail going the past few days that has not ended yet. At one point, it was just nobody would respond. It was just Jody Sweeten and myself talking to each other. But the show Fuller House will be coming up shortly in the months ahead, and people will need it that love it. On Netflix, there's 9 more episodes to go that are brand new, and they're the last episodes of the 5th season. And it's nice that some shows on Netflix get 1 season, and they gave us 5 seasons, and also told us when we were ending. And the last season got to be 18 episodes, so that's a lot. And I think people will like it. I think people will also like the closure at the end of it. Not to, spoiler alert, but we deeply love each other. And Candace she's one strong woman, I'll tell you. And a lot of the writers that kept it going, and it was John Stamos made it happen. John Stamos and Bob Boyette, who did the original, he was the executive producer, as was Tom Miller, who we just lost. He was a magnificent man. He basically always says he was Richie Cunningham as a kid, and Ron Howard's character was kind of based on him. And these are gentlemen that put me on Full House. And I had done the warm-up for a show named Bosom Buddies with Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari, and that's how I started. And it's just like, it's strange to be on this journey. And it was amazing to go back and do the show again. And they rebuilt the living room. And I came on the set the first day and said, guys, this stairway leads nowhere. And you're going to have 6 actors standing here. And there's a wall. You've got to give a little extra room like we used to have back in the day. So I actually helped being, the senior member. And I'm looking at right now in my study, the barometer that hung next to the front doors to the right. in the Full House living room.
Oh yeah.
And Stamos has the couch. I don't know how he got it. He had people go in and steal it and bring it. I don't know what he did that in the night. He's got other stuff. I have a feeling he's got the whole stairway and the archway and the alcove under the stairs in his backyard. He's a big paraphernalia keeper, but we're like brothers. Dave, John, and I are like brothers, and the girls aren't girls; they're women, and I love them. And the kids on the show are wonderful people. So that's what was wonderful about it, was seeing everybody again. And we would have a lot of any of the stuff that you saw online, you know, on Instagram or Facebook. You see us hugging and crying, and it's all real. You know, it also makes you look at your life and how it changes. And I'm going, how did I get older? What the hell happened to me? But you know, it's nice. I get to reach out and people feel like they know me from that, or they know me from comedy, or they know me from other things they've seen me do. And it's a gift. It's a gift to have made so many people happy. And I appreciate your question. But thank you so much. And stay healthy, and say hi to the two people you live with. and
I will.
And be well, and you will see your family. Everybody will see each other. We will not just be streaming on Zoom and FaceTime. We will all be able to be with the people we love. And the key is for them to be safe and for them to practice the things we're told to do right now, because that's what we were told to do. And I trust those scientists right now because we got no other choice. So,
oh yeah,
we'll get through this. We'll get through it. And it's not easy, but we will. So you just be well. And thanks so much. You were a delight to talk to. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay well and have a good one. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. That's just so sweet. And I don't know what to say. That was Sophie. And nice people out there. There's nice people. So I'll be making calls again in future episodes, but I've got a bunch of other stuff to do, which are my interviews. And then I'm just going to do some talking, just some riffing, and just connect with you that way a little bit. There's nothing wrong. One-way conversation is, Jerry Seinfeld says, it's a discourse. When you're doing stand-up and you do all the talking and you're not interacting with people, which is how he does it so well, it's still a discourse. The audience is your other. But I do talk to people in the audience sometimes, and that's what I love about doing this show. So what you got to do is you got to rate it, and rate it really high. Do it like, Barstool Sports, Stool Presidente. Go the other direction. Go high. Don't go low. Because I hate reading bad reviews. I've had so many bad ones. So there's also a review you got to put in there. Be kind. Think of my mom, who's no longer with us, and say, okay, I'll give you a couple points. And you got to subscribe so you can hear it all the time. And then I'll be that number that you can call, that's right up there on the thing that's right there. You call that number and leave a message, and then I will post on Instagram and Twitter when I will be calling you guys between the hours of blank and blank, because that's how I say everything's a blank. Most of the stuff I used to say on television ended up being a blank, and I would get bleeped, but it would be planned. Conan would always plan it with me, but I'll talk about that next time. Anyway, you guys take care of yourself. This has been Bob Saget's Here For You. I'm not ashamed to say the name out loud. Thank you so much, guys. Be well.